Hello and welcome back to the channel. So the big palm order has finally arrived from Seagrave Nursery. So I thought I'd show you today the heights that I've received and roughly how much I've paid for each one. So they were delivered a couple of days ago, just before we had a big storm in the UK, although it didn't particularly affect the south of England very much. But basically when they arrived, because I didn't want them to blow over in the wind and everything, I just basically put them in the garage just for a couple of days. But here they are. So one thing, once when they actually arrive, which I did notice, is they are slightly bigger than the specified size that I had ordered. Not by a huge amount, but just by sort of like 10 to 15 centimeters on the trunk size, which is pretty good really, because these were good value for the size that they're at. The pot size was supposed to be a 70-litre pot. They've arrived in a 90-litre pot, so a little bit more root system, which is always really good to have. And yeah, so the first palm I want to talk about is the Bouea odorata, which is kind of, I've had two delivered before from them. One of them was much bigger on the trunk size than the other two. And so this one kind of sits in the middle of the three on that. So with the specs, I would say, so the trunk size, if we're putting the tape measure around, it's roughly 110 centimeters all the way around the widest part of the palm on there. Height wise, it was spec'd as being between 6 foot and 7 foot tall, including the pot height on there. The one that I have received is probably about, it's just over 7 foot tall on there, probably about, it says about 220 centimeters on that one. So really pleased with that. I haven't undone the parcel tape yet, because when I do that it will literally open up, and for ease of planting I've kept that wrapped up for the moment. So with the two Trachycarpus palms, one thing that I noted as soon as they arrived actually is the thickness of the trunks are incredible on these ones. They are probably about twice as thick as the one that I bought from my local garden centre, and that was a similar trunk size, as in height wise. The one from the garden centre, the major difference really is with the foliage. When you buy these palms generally online, like I have here, they cut back a lot of the leaves that come out at the lower level, mainly for transportation, and they would probably get damaged in transit anyway, which is good. Just noticed actually there's a flower head on this one, which is quite cool. I don't know whether it's an old flower head or, yeah, I'd say it's an old flower head on there, so that'd be good. We might get some flowers this year from this one. So spec wise, the ones I ordered I think were something like 110 to 130 centimeters on trunk size. This one, if we're going to the base of the leaves, so basically the end of the hairy bit of the trunk, we're looking at 140. So this one is slightly bigger than the one next to it. But yeah, so you've got 140 centimeters tall. And if we go mid trunk, we're looking at a good 22 centimeters. If I'm literally laying it like that, so not wrapping it around, if I wrap it around, let's see which this is. We are looking at 63 centimeters on that one. So yeah, really good. As I say, 90-litre pot, loads of root system. The bigger one of the two is going to go right down at the front of the front garden. That's my palm that generally is in the line of sight of the front window, whereas the second Trachycarpus will be off to the left, and that will provide height in the long run on there. So that's that one. The slightly smaller one, we are looking at a trunk height of 135 centimeters, and it's slightly, the foliage on this one is slightly tighter on there, but once these get growing, the leaves will come out more and it will widen at the top. So yeah, so really pleased with the quality of these. As I say, I've ordered from Seagrave Nurseries before, mainly for the Boueas, but I have ordered smaller Trachycarpus from them, which were kind of about, I think they were spec'd at about 1 metre high. They're doing fantastic in the back garden. They've probably doubled in size, I would say, on overall height. So yeah, they had basically a big sale just before Christmas. They always have a sale of some kind. But yeah, the time I particularly bought them, because I wanted to get them ideally here before the other plants, that didn't quite work out. But yeah, so I purchased these on, I think it was the 24th of November, and they arrived, I think, the 23rd of January. So 23rd, yeah, about 23rd of January. So it did take a long time for them to come, but well worth the wait, mainly because of A, quality, and B, the cost of them as well. So what did I pay for each one of these? So the Bouea palm came in, I think, at about 270 on there, which for a 7-foot, well, it's a 6-foot plant in a big pot, so that equals just over 7 foot. For that size, it's really healthy. All the leaves look good. There's no black spots on the leaves or anything. So for the size of it, that's a really good price for this particular palm. It's very frost hardy, generally down to about -10. So we don't really see those sort of temperatures down here, for many years. So once this gets growing, it will obviously really toughen up. And the Trachycarpus came in, I think, at about 280 on there. So again, for the size, I mean, you sometimes see them in garden centres for sort of £500–600. Yes, it might have a little bit more leafage to it, but these will soon get going. And when I plant these today, so that's going to be pretty much my next job, is to sack barrel these to their final kind of position. And yeah, when I plant these today, I will do a few things. So I will make sure that the holes are nice and wide. There's some real good kind of composty soil in there. I'm using mycorrhizal fungi, which I bought a pack for basically £12.99. It's a big pack. And what that does is it's a fungus that attaches to the roots of the palm, and it forms a network of of roots, and those roots help to feed the actual palm as well. So it's a good way of getting them established quickly. Particularly these ones, I think, were grown in Italy. So they've been dug up at some point and put in a pot, and probably left in the pot for, say, 6 months, just to make sure they're okay and for them to sort of repair any damage to the roots. But once these go in the ground, that mycorrhizal fungi will really help to get nutrition to these palms and basically kickstart them in their growth cycle, which, as we're moving, well, we're still in winter at the moment, but as we move into spring, that's going to be really important to get the maximum amount of growth and establishment out of these before the next winter. So yeah, I'll be using the mycorrhizal fungi on there. I will also sprinkle a little bit of palm fertilizer on them, but not today. I will put that on a little bit later in spring, just because I don't want them to start putting out fresh but weak leaves at this time of year. We're nearly into February. February can be the kind of cold and slightly snowy month here in the UK. Where I am in my location in the south, it's generally not too snowy, and if we do get snow, it's usually no more than a few centimeters. But yeah, I want them to kind of establish their root systems but not put out tons of leaves, so no nitrogen added to them and things like that at this point. So yeah, that's basically the order. Really happy with Seagrave Nursery. I have emailed them at points to find out where the delivery is and roughly the ETA on it, and generally they've been very good. Within a few days they get back to you via email, and they apologize if there's a delay on the order, and they do let you know roughly when they are due to be loaded onto the lorry and then taken from their place at the growers in Italy to through the UK and obviously delivered here to me. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and my next video will be more development on the main garden, and it will probably show these palms in their final position. I'm hoping to get a lot of planting done today because we've got some more rain and that coming tomorrow afternoon, so that will just wash everything in and get them all settled. And it'd be nice actually not having the front garden full of pots that are in position but the wind keeps blowing them over and things like that. So it'd be nice to get stuff in the ground, especially, well, all the hardy stuff is going in the ground. Don't really have any tender plants particularly going in this front garden, apart from probably I've got a phoenix palm which is quite large, which is going to go right down in the bottom of the front garden, and that will provide, I've got basically a yew tree that goes over that, and that provides a bit of shelter for it. And I want to plant that a little bit later once any severe frosts have gone. So we're looking anything lower than -3. I'm not going to be planting that palm out just yet because I want it to get established quickly before the next winter. And it's a palm that potentially in colder weather I would have to throw a fleece over or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to go get these planted, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'm gaining some good subscribers at the moment, and it's good for everybody to see the development of the garden. And I'd be really interested to see any comments. Some people have been commenting on my videos, which is great. Comments are always good. That gives me feedback, and also if there's anything that you particularly would like to see, or any advice that you would like, or even just to pick my brains, see my experiences with a particular type of plant, if I've got it here in the garden. And yeah, any of that interaction is really good. And yeah, hope to see you on the next video. Enjoy your day.